So the first thing that I want to deliver is sort of a motivational speech of sorts in terms of where your business is today. And it can be frustrating. I've talked to so many painting contractors who have been in business for such a long time and just feel stuck, right? They've plateaued. They've hit a spot in their business where they can't figure out how to get to the next level. And being here today is really that first step, right? Learning what to do, learning how to implement things, and working to get out of the day to day. What I always say and what I always teach is that it is impossible, or at least nearly impossible, to successfully work on your business when you're working in the business. Now, if you've been able to successfully put the tools down and you have guys in the field that are working for you, fantastic. If you haven't done that yet, that is okay. We're going to help you get to that point where you can put the tools down, focus on working on the business versus in the business, and get this thing to $1 million, $2, $3, $4, $5 million, right? And that is what we're going to help you do. But the first thing that I want you to know is what industry and what business we are really in. And there's a common misconception in the painting industry that we are painting business owners, right? I am a painting business owner, but the reality is you're not really a painting business owner. You are a sales and marketing, a HR and operations, business systems, all of that, and really primarily sales and marketing. Because if you can't sell your business, if you can't market and bring in leads, then it doesn't matter that you paint, right? We want to use painting as a vehicle to drive the business growth, and that's what we do. Okay, my clients, the people that I work with, fantastic painters, really nice guys, really nice women that exist in the painting industry. And they have a passion for painting, but the business part isn't always there. Whereas I'm very passionate about painting, but business is really my specialty. And helping you to unlock that painting business growth is where you can really see that next step to the next level in your business. Okay, so the first pillar of success, sales and marketing. Now, I could have made it 2 pillars, but I decided to make it 1 because it really does need to be 1. And I would recommend have a notebook, something handy to be taking notes on during this time because I'm going to be going quick. All right, sales and marketing. The first thing that you need to do as a business owner is obviously drive leads. And where are we driving those leads from? Now, most of my clients I work with are in the residential side of the business. And I like to convert them to commercial because I think that's where a lot of the money exists. And I know I'm right about that. But on the residential side, we'll tackle that here first. What are the effective ways that you can bring in leads today to help your business? Now, I know we are in the summer and summer months for most parts of the country. It's busy, right? You might be booked out through July, August, maybe even into September. And sales and marketing might not be an issue for you as it currently stands. However, we have all been through winters. We have all been through slow periods. And the goal of sales and marketing is to be able to work successfully through those slower periods and not have moments or times where you're struggling to keep guys paid or you're struggling to pay your bills. And we've all been there, right? It does happen. But if you effectively market your business, then you can prevent this from happening when we inevitably get to the winter, because it's really not that far away. We are almost to July. If you look at the summer of May, June, July, August, we're about halfway through. So start planning for what it looks like to be successful when the fall rolls around. Now, on the marketing side, there are 2 areas of marketing that you can approach. And I'd like to do both of them. There's your physical marketing, sort of the old-fashioned traditional, and then there's the digital marketing. Now, let's touch on physical marketing real quick here and talk about what actually works, because I am sure all of you get blown up all day, every day from people trying to sell you different things, people trying to get you into their magazines, into their golf courses, into the scorebooks, into calendars, things like that. And you're sort of bogged down thinking, what actually works? And the goal of marketing is twofold. There are 2 reasons why you want to market. The first reason is because you want an immediate return on investment. So if I spend $500 marketing, I want to at least see that money back and definitely some on top of it. But there's also the long-term value of community engagement and establishing yourself as a brand leader, as the painting industry expert in your area. And this happens subconsciously as we market because it is all about repetition, 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 repetition. And if we can do that, if we can get in front of people time and time and time again, then when it comes time for that homeowner or that commercial property owner or the general contractor to call a painter, they're going to call you. And that is the biggest thing about marketing, because in the painting industry, especially on the residential side, this isn't something that is typically on a whim purchase, right? If I'm scrolling through Facebook on my phone, on my computer, wherever I'm scrolling, I'm going to see ads. I'll see ads for products, for services, but it's not like it's a $10 product that I can quickly impulsively buy. No, this is $5, $6, $7, $10,000 that we are talking about spending here. People plan for this and people save for this outside of the uber wealthy individuals where they have a ton of disposable income. So for the vast majority of the population that we're going to be looking to target, it is not an impulse purchase. Now, we can get in front of people right when we want them to call us to do a painting project. And that's what we're going to talk about here first with the physical marketing. There are two forms that I really like, and it is the old-fashioned canvassing of neighborhoods. I love door hangers, and let me tell you why. And there's also a big, big difference between door hangers and if you're going to do every door direct mail, if you've heard of the EDDM. Door hangers are far, far superior. And in terms of cost, they're actually relatively similar. Sometimes every door direct mail can end up being more expensive because of the service that you're using. But door hangers force you to look at the door hanger. Now, if you're sending a flyer in the mail, when I go to my mailbox, and I literally just did this here this morning, I went to my mailbox, my electric bill came in the mail, as well as some other advertisements. I opened my electric bill. The other things I plopped in the trash. Didn't even take a second to look at them. Now, door hangers are different because the door hanger forces the homeowner to actually look at it. Even if they're going straight to the trash with the door hanger, at least they have to say, oh, this is John's painting. This is Supreme Painting, right? Whatever it is, they are going to see your sign. They have to, because that's the only way they get it off the door. Whereas if I'm in a stack of mail, it's easy to throw into the trash. So it's right there. It's in front of your face. And oftentimes people put these on their fridge. They throw them in their desk. They say, oh, I need to get my exterior painted. And maybe it's not today, but they'll throw it somewhere and they'll give you a call maybe a year, even 2 years later. And they're super, super powerful. And the best part about them is they're rather cheap. Okay. About 10,000 door hangers. I was looking on Vistaprint here this morning preparing for the webinar. 10,000 door hangers on Vistaprint, $400 or $500 is what you're going to cost, depending on the size, quality, things like that. $500, let's say, for 10,000 door hangers to get in front of 10,000 homeowners is only going to cost you $500 for the door hangers. And then obviously someone's going to have to put them up. What I did and what I always recommend is find local high school students, local college students, people that will throw these door hangers up at a low cost. They throw in their earbuds, their AirPods, whatever it is. They put the door hangers up and you pay them per stack of door hangers. And I always get the question, well, how do I know if they actually put them up? Here's how you know. You have them download an app that runners use all the time, Map My Run. And you say, you're going to get paid. You put Map My Run up on your phone, and it will show you the exact route that they walk, and you will know exactly if they hung up those door hangers. Now, of course, you can do this yourself, and I recommend that you do some of it as well. And you just canvas neighborhoods. And the greatest thing about door hangers is you get to pick the areas that you want to be working in. If I want to be working in whatever the top areas are in my neighborhood, my city, go there and you can target specifically. Now think about this. You're not going to get all 10,000 door hangers up in one day. That would be quite the feat if you had a whole army of people putting them up. But if you're able to get, let's say you're able to do, I don't know, a few hundred, you've hired 3 people to do a few hundred. Let's say you get 500 on a Saturday thrown up. You are going to get calls. Your phone is going to be ringing and you will say, Thank you, Benson, for suggesting that I do the door hangers. And you do 10,000 of them each season. In the spring, in the fall, summer, winter, you do 10,000 of them. And if your business is ever slow, if you want an instant return, go out there, canvas, go out there and do it. The only thing that you might potentially be wary of is definitely don't put them up on doors or houses that say no soliciting. But outside of that, there's really no issues in doing it. Absolutely. Okay. The second version of physical marketing that I am a huge fan of are home shows. Now, if you've never been in a home show, you don't know what a home show is. Essentially, it is a place for homeowners to come, and there's a bunch of home service contractors there. There's real estate agents, insurance people, local pizza places, things like that come to these shows. But it's primarily for contractors. And I absolutely love home shows. I get all of my clients into them because of how effective they are. And I'll give you an example. I have a client in Boston, Lime Painting of Boston, a super awesome guy. Mark Segan runs the business, $1 million plus he's doing each year. And we had him get into a local home show in the Boston area. And it's not cheap to be in the home shows. These are honestly why people don't typically like going into them, is because they typically cost a few $1,000s in terms of being there. But if you want to get a quick return on your investment, there's absolutely no better place to go, no better place to be than the home shows. And let me tell you. So Mark Segan, let's say he spends $3,000, some of that's on the booth, some of that's on marketing materials. He's at the home show. And I was at this show with him in Boston. I typically do home show visits, things like that with my clients. So we're at the show, and over the course of the weekend, it is a Friday, half day Friday, full day Saturday, and most of the day Sunday type of deal. And during that weekend, we scheduled not just business cards handed out, not just flyers given, we scheduled 80 estimates, 80 from a single weekend. And I've not been to a single home show where I've scheduled no less than 50 estimates in a single weekend. Think about the power of that. Think about how much money you would typically have to spend giving Angie or Thumbtack or Home Advisor or whoever it is to get 50 estimates, to get 80 estimates, let alone all the business cards you hang out, flyers, things like that. It is incredible. And only for $3,000, if I can get 80 estimates, let's say I close on 40 of them. Okay, 40 estimates. And Mark Segan's, his average job for his people, he does high-end homes, is about $20,000. That weekend, 40 times 20,000, that is $800,000 return on investment from a $3,000 cost. Tell me that's not worth it. Now, the thing that I love about home shows even more is, for whatever reason, and I found this across the country, painters don't go. It's like a hidden little gem. It's a secret. I've never been to a single home show where there's been more than like 3 or 4 painters there. And there's like a dozen roofing companies, 6 or 7 guys that do siding, a bunch of gutter companies, but painters aren't there. And it's awesome. You establish relationships with other contractors, GCs. It is a fantastic way to supercharge your business. Now, they typically do spring and fall. So start looking for the fall. It is coming. It will be here soon. Get yourself into your local home show. Now, there is a fantastic website and a fantastic resource that I'm going to recommend all of you use. It is homeshowsnearme.com. Again, homeshowsnearme.com. You can find your local home show on there, scroll down to your state, pick your area, and it'll show you all the local home shows. Get into as many of them as you can. I promise you, you will not lose money on the ordeal. The biggest suggestion, the biggest recommendation that I have for contractors who get into home shows is you need to schedule estimates on the spot. Have a calendar system, have something ready to go. We use Calendly for our scheduling, and I set it up with my clients. You use House Call Pro. I think Drip Jobs has a scheduling feature. Whatever platform you are using, you have to get people scheduled there because it's very easy. And there's a ton of people there that sort of just hand out a business card or say you'll give them a call or whatever it is. Get a day, get a time on the schedule, fill it up, and you will be booked out. If you go to a home show in September and you get 80 bids and you land even 30 of them, think about how long you're going to be booked out for. I promise you it's going to be effective. Okay. On the physical side, we have door hangers and we have home shows. A few other things that might be worth your time. I'm a fan of trying to be local in terms of community engagement. And one of the things that I've seen work very well, if you've ever been to a little league baseball field, you'll sometimes see some of those like banners in the outfield of local companies. And, it's very nice to be able to support the local little league and to put a banner up there. And from little leagues that I've talked to, they don't charge much. It's a few $100. And it's a little way that you can get involved in the community, get engaged with the community. I've also seen jersey sponsors, right? You buy the jerseys for the kids in a little league. It can work great, can do wonders for your business. But that's on the physical side. Now, what should you do on the digital marketing side? Digital marketing, you can get a lot of bang for your buck when utilizing it. And what I'm going to say before I jump into digital marketing, and when you look at marketing as a whole, there are 3 things that I want you to write down. And those 3 things are going to be recommended spend. How much money should I be spending on marketing? And I get the question all the time. And it's a good question because there are so many different numbers, so many different things, but no matter who I'm talking to, my biggest client does over $10 million a year in business. My smallest client does about $100,000 in business. And I say to those same people, you should be spending a percentage of your top line revenue to continue to grow that. And that percentage is 7%. You need to be spending 7% of whatever your top line revenue is on your marketing efforts. And it's very simple. Okay. You do 500,000, multiply it by 0.07. And if you want to get the monthly, just divide that by 12. Now, 7%. Here are the other 2 numbers I want you to write down. CPE, cost per estimate. Write that down. And then the next number is CAC, customer acquisition cost. And these metrics are going to be your KPIs for how you're going to do everything with marketing. Your cost per estimate. So for example, that home show, right? We're looking at, okay, if that home show is going to cost me $3,000 to be at, and I'm able to land 80 estimates from that home show, I go into my calculator, I do 3,000, I divide that by 80, and I get my CPE of $3,750. And that is a great cost per estimate. And the way that you can tell that that's a good cost per estimate is if you look at, for example, what like an Angie's List or a Home Advisor or any of these companies charge, it's an arm and a leg. And I'll talk about how much I hate them a little bit more here in a moment. Okay, now let's get our customer acquisition cost. Okay, that same $3,000 we spent at the home show. Let's say I got 40 customers from that. Okay, so we take $3,000 and we divide it by 40. And we get our customer acquisition cost. Comes out to $75 for our customer acquisition cost. Now, these aren't bad numbers. These are actually fairly good. The typical numbers that you want to try to be at is about $50 for your cost per estimate and about $100 for your customer acquisition cost. And typically most painting contractors aren't there. And the reason is because you spend so much money. I'm not trying to single anybody out, but I've been there. I've done it. We frivolously spend money on marketing. Okay, we'll get into calendars that don't work. We'll spend $1,000 on a magazine. Remember when I was early in my painting business, I spent like a few $1,000s getting into a bunch of golf courses as if that was going to work. You need to be very intentional about your resources because they're limited and they're finite, right? So on the digital marketing front, what specifically do you need to do? There are a few key areas that I'd like you to be. The first thing that you need to have absolutely is a website, and it needs to be a website that is user-friendly and that is a very clear call to action, CTA for short. So if I go on your website right now, I should be able to quickly and easily get myself scheduled for an estimate, either with a self-scheduling tool and quickly give you a call. I'm not a big fan of like the forms where someone goes on a website and just fills out a form, because in this new age, for whatever reason, and it's actually come up a lot more often than you'd think, people have this weird thing about getting on the phone and making a call. It's strange, right? Because I love calling people when I need something. Find their phone number, give them a call. But there's a lot of homeowners that just They don't feel comfortable with it. They'd rather hop on a website, go to a calendar tool, say, I want Tom to show up to give me a painting estimate at 10 a.m. next Tuesday. And there should be an option for you to do that. Now, my favorite scheduling tool, again, is Calendly, Calendly. It's a great tool. I use it internally for my business. I use it with all of my clients. It is fantastic. Okay, it references your calendar, it schedules events, they can put their address right in there. And then certainly when estimates get scheduled, you obviously want to give them a call, right? You're not just going to show up during the day and time to say, hey, this is Jim from Awesome Painters. I see you booked an estimate for such and such day at this time. I just want to confirm the address and sort of the project scope, and do it that way. Now, you should also have like your portfolio. It should look good, user friendly, right? All that needs to be there. And you'd be surprised the number of contractors that I've talked to and that I've worked with that don't have a website. I was doing work with a $5 million painting contractor. Obviously, he did something right. His website looked like it was designed, and it was designed in the early 2000s. So make sure your website is user friendly. Make sure that it is has that call to action everywhere, blasted loud, and put that scheduling tool right in there to make it easy for homeowners that are going on your site. Now, beyond that, I'm sure all of you have heard the term SEO, search engine optimization, and that is simply putting keywords, different things in terms of the areas that you want to be working in. Make sure they're listed all somewhere on the website. Like if you want to be the top painter in, I don't know, Ann Arbor, Michigan, that should be littered everywhere throughout the site, all the neighborhoods, everything, and have a blog. A blog is a huge, huge thing. It's called content marketing. And essentially what content marketing is it's a way to get in front of homeowners that may not specifically be looking for a painting contractor. And what I mean is if you Google right now, like, I don't know, how to paint my basement, or what paint color should I pick for my kitchen cabinets? Odds are it'll be a painting contractor's website that pulls up, and they are drawing people in by writing articles about commonly searched terms, right? Questions, and pulling people in that way. And it's a fantastic tool, right? If I can, put a thing on my site that says, how do I determine if my painting project is a DIY or a professional painting project? And then at the end of it, call Tom's Painting for a free quote, right? That's all call to action, content marketing, industry leader. And you combine this again with the door hangers, being at the Little League field, being in the home shows, being involved in your community. Now we're starting to paint the picture, right? We're starting to see how marketing can actually come together, how marketing can work. And we haven't even touched on some of the more digital marketing pieces that is really the trend and the fad. And there are so many people that are going to promise you so many different things, but there are just a few things that you need to pay attention to. First thing, if you are on Angie or if you are on Thumbtack, if you are on any of those home advisor sites, get off of them today. Stop paying Home Advisor to grow Home Advisor's business, and you essentially become a subcontractor to them anyway, where if I don't send my $1,000 a month to Home Advisor and they don't send me their bogus leads, then I don't stay in business, right? But if you spend $1,000 a month on marketing your business, on putting the word out there for you and your business, you're building your brand. You're building yourself versus building Angie or Home Advisor. They are garbage people. It's a garbage business. Get out while you can, okay? There are ways to get out of contracts. I've done it a jillion times. If you need any help getting rid of them, definitely, I'm going to throw that business checkup link up here again. And make sure that I know we're about halfway through here, that you get yourself signed up for that one-on-one painting business checkup, where we can dive into your specific things here. Okay. Let's see. I seeing in the chat here. Yeah, Angie is crap. Thank you, Renee, for saying that here in the chat. Absolute garbage. Do not use Angie. Okay. Digital marketing, now that we've gone past that rant. Okay. Facebook and Google are the two platforms that you absolutely need to be on. Now, your website is like your almost like a billboard in the 21st century, right? It has your pictures, it has your contact information, they can schedule an estimate. Whereas your Facebook it's like a living and breathing thing, right? You have to constantly be posting, putting content out there, right? And what you need to do is you need to be regularly posting. That's the biggest thing. I've been on so many painting contractors' Facebooks, and they just don't regularly post. Now, at the minimum, you should be posting on a every week basis, as much as you can. Okay, so every week you should be posting on Facebook. Now, if you want to get even better, my absolute recommendation is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you sort of have a theme to it, okay? Monday might be sort of a picture of your guys on a job site, sort of like this image I have up here on the screen. Wednesday might be like client testimonial day, and Friday might be like a Friday deal day, right? Whatever it is, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a really good pattern and a routine to get into. And what I really love about the Meta Business Suite is that you can actually schedule all of your posts a month in advance and always stay ahead. Because one of the biggest reasons I'll be like, Tim, I'm on your Facebook page. There's nothing on here for the last 2 years. Benson, I just don't have time. Well, if you can schedule it a month in advance and it only takes about an hour on a Saturday to do, you have no excuse. Get on Facebook, get into your Meta Business Suite, and just start posting. Engage in groups and like local community groups. Make yourself available on Facebook, because homeowners, they are like little sleuths. They'll look at your website, they'll look at your Facebook, they'll make sure you're a legitimate business, because they're going to be investing a lot of money into you, a lot of money. Right? It's not easy for me to write a $12,000 check to get my full interior painted, or whatever the price is that it's going to end up being. So you have to have that credibility. You have to have that trust there. And Facebook is a wonderful place. And on top of that, you can run Facebook boosted and targeted ad campaigns. They are absolutely fantastic. And I've talked to a lot of people that say, Benson, I've spent so much money on Facebook and I haven't gotten anything in return. It's because you're doing Facebook the wrong way. Now, there is a difference between what's the Facebook Ads Manager, which is behind the scenes, and boosting posts. You can boost posts all you want, and pretty much you can just select a few demographics and put it out there. But Facebook Ads Manager, you can have multiple different ad creatives, like different things that Facebook knows will get in front of the right people. A bunch of different things, and you can target, specifically, has someone looked into painting in the last 28 days? Are they interested in this? And Facebook has all of this data. Target top 5% of income earners. And I'll give you my exact targeting list here so you can go and do it yourself. Okay. Age 35 plus. I don't want to be dealing with people in their 20s that really aren't interested in getting anything painted. The average age of first homeowner purchase in the US is like 35 years old now. So we need to be targeting home owners. People that are under 35, by and large, are not homeowners. So that's the first targeting. I typically have found a lot of success targeting specifically females versus men, or versus both. And for whatever reason, it just has worked out for me and for my clients. So I typically do 35 plus. I do female, and then I go down and I do the top 5% of income earners in my specific zip codes. I don't like doing an area, because an area is very, very broad, right? If I'm in Pittsburgh, so if I say I want to do Pittsburgh for my targeting, there are a bunch of bad neighborhoods that I have no want or no desire to be in. So I'll do my specific zip codes. For me, it's like 15228, 15237, 15236, right? Whatever your specific zip codes are that you want to be in, put those in. And then put the top 5% income. Because what we want to be doing is we want to be charging top dollar. If we talk about on like the financial side, and I always do this during these webinars, I run up against the clock here because I want to do Q&A. If you look at on the financial side, when we're doing like gross profit planning and looking at estimating what we should be charging, it can be difficult to get the margins that you're looking at when you're in more of those working class blue collar neighborhoods. And there's nothing wrong with those neighborhoods. Fantastic people, there are beautiful homes there. But if we really want to be stepping up our business, if we want to be increasing the average value of our jobs, then we absolutely need to be in those top 5% of income earner households. We need to be working in properties that are valued at 500, 600, 700,000. I have a client that only does $1 million homes and he's crushing it, right? Typically, it's very much so correlated between the property value and the job size that you're doing. So make sure that you are targeting specific zip codes that you want to be doing work in. And it's almost like the digital door hanger. If you think about it like that, right? I can get super dialed in, but even more dialed in, and I can get analytics on this thing, right? And analytics changes the game, because when you go and you hang up door hangers, there are no analytics on it. You can't see who opened it, who looked at it, who clicked. But for Facebook, you can. And the absolutely most powerful thing that you can do with Facebook is called the Meta Pixel. Now, if you use like Wix or Squarespace or GoDaddy or any of these common website development sites, you can connect your Metapixel to that site and you can connect it to Facebook, and you can run what's called a retargeting ad. And retargeting ads are absolute game changers, because, and you'll see this all the time on your own. I was recently looking into this company called 8 Sleep, and they're like a sleep pod, actually very expensive, because my wife, she and I have a little bit of a dispute about the temperature in the bedroom, right? I like it a little bit cooler. She likes it a little bit warmer. And there's always issues there. But 8 Sleep, it's like this sleep pod. You can change the temperatures on both sides, actually. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool until I found out it was like $2,500. And I said, maybe at Christmas. But nonetheless, I look on 8 Sleep, and then all of a sudden I'm scrolling on Facebook, 8 Sleep ads. I'm looking on my Twitter account, 8 Sleep ads. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing ads for this thing. And you ask the question, how do they do it? And it's through the Metapixel. That is one of the biggest ways that you can do it. There are also other ways that you can make it happen, but the Metapixel is exactly how you make this happen. And what you need to do is connect that to your website, have it communicate back with your Facebook, and then you can run ads specifically for people that have visited your website, so that you know without a doubt that these people are interested in you and your company. Very, very powerful. Now, if we go back to those numbers, right? CPE, CAC, cost per estimate, and customer acquisition cost. And if you've used Angie, I've seen customer acquisition costs as high as $500. I've seen cost per estimates as high as a few $100. And that's like actual estimates that are being done. And it's a tragedy what they do. But on Facebook, my clients have cost per estimates as low as $15. They have customer acquisition costs as low as $30. And you think about taking that 7% of your marketing spend and just think, okay, if I'm a $500,000 painting company, okay, $500,000, and I want to spend 7%, which is $35,000 a year on a monthly basis, that's about $2,900. $2,900 divided by 30 on Facebook. That is 97 homeowners that I know on Facebook that I can get. Now, let's say my average shop on the low end, I don't know, 7,500. That means that month I can sell nearly $750,000 worth of business. And this is the untapped growth and the untapped potential that I know so many of you can have, and that I see happen every single day. What it takes is intentionality and discipline, and doing it in that way. All right, I'm looking at the clock here. I do want to do Q&A because I love interacting with those that come to these webinars, and I appreciate all of you for sticking around. And I know I've been talking at you this whole time. So let's see, we are at 1:12. I like to do like 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A. So if you all could just start pumping some questions into the chat that you have for me, I would be thrilled to answer them. And we'll give you the code here for that Sherwin-Williams $500 gift card giveaway. At about 125, 126, I will go ahead and do that. Okay, seeing some questions come in. I will get to them here in a moment. The last thing that I want to do is talk about the final digital marketing frontier that you can go into. The first thing that you want to do is on the Google side. And there are two ways that you can do Google. I'm seeing some questions about that coming in here. Google, you have LSAs, which are local search ads, and a little bit similar like your Angie's sort of like guarantee. And I like them a lot better. And there's also your Google PPC campaigns. PPC is much more geared towards getting people to the website, whereas LSA is much more geared towards bringing people, like when they're looking at painters in your area, that they'll show up as sponsored when you're doing that. And it's very, very important that you're doing a combination of the two in tandem with Facebook. And for my Google clients that I work with, they're actually pretty similar. It's around like that $10 to $15 cost per estimate, around that 25 to 35 customer acquisition cost that we are seeing in there. And if you do that effectively, and if you do all of this, this is going to just dramatically change your sales and marketing. And I hate that I've spent most of the time here on sales and marketing, but I really wanted to focus on it because the reality of this industry is that it is so cyclical, right? We have the summers, they're great. The winters are bad. And it's like a cycle that we can never break out of. And what I do, what my company, what we do, my team is we help you break out of that cycle. And I'm so thrilled that so many of you had an opportunity to come here today. I'm looking at the questions coming in. Thank you for those. And how about we dive into some Q&A here? I'm also going to throw up again that link to the Painting Business Checkup. I've already seen, looking at my phone here, a bunch of you sign up for that already. So please, if you haven't, I know the schedule is tight. My schedule does fill up pretty quick. I think the next times aren't going to be available until around the 4th of July, maybe after it. But please do go ahead and get yourself scheduled for a checkup. And I can spend up to 2 hours with you at no cost, jumping into whatever areas you want to talk about. Okay, let's jump into the first question that I am getting here. I'm just going over to the chat. Okay, is there training available? This question is from Renee. Is there training available for the Facebook ads, Meta ads? Great question, Renee. Certainly, we are actually actively working on a course that's specifically for painting contractors on like the Facebook ads because it is complicated. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is messing up on the Facebook side, and you can waste a ton of money doing it. But if you do something for me, Renee, if you sign up for that business checkup, we can spend a good bit of the time jumping into the Facebook ads. I can walk you through the portal, can show you a few samples, and would absolutely be happy to take you through that because it's not easy, right? It's a bit complicated, and that's why like one of the services that we provide for our clients is we run all their Facebook ads for them. We maximize your dollar, like I said, with those CPE and those customer acquisition costs to make sure that, again, you're getting the most bang for your buck. And that's really what we're looking to do is help you to get to that next level. And that's what we do every single day. Okay, Tino asks, are you doing Google Ads? Similar answer to Renee. Yes, we run Google Ads for all of our clients, and they're at that customer acquisition cost around the $20, $25 mark, CPE around that $10 to $15 mark. And again, it can be complicated and it's time consuming, right? To be able to go in, one of the things that we do is like we put Google tags on your website so then it communicates with Google and you can get that whole retargeting ecosystem going. And it's really fantastic. And it's very, very important that you do Facebook and Google. And I know the physical is so much easier, right? You just buy door hangers and hang them up. You show up at a home show and you get people scheduled. But the digital is where you can bump yourself up to the next level, get yourself to that next spot, and have months like you've never imagined. Okay, let me see here. Thank you for the question. I think a follow-up question. I've been getting my CPA going higher lately. Why do you think? Are you referencing cost per estimate, Tino CPE? I'll wait for him to put that. I would guess he's referencing the cost per estimate. And the reason why, and this typically happens a little bit in the summer, is cost per estimates go up slightly because this is when people are getting their houses painted. And there's just a lot of competition out there in the market. But with the CPE, the best way that you can keep those numbers low, cost per acquisition, customer acquisition cost. So the customer acquisition cost, which I refer to as CAC, what you're really need to do there is drive down your cost per estimate. And the way that you drive down your cost per estimate is by effectively targeting and having really good ad creatives, having really good keywords, making sure that people it has a good click-through rate. My click-through rate's around 5 to 7%. And if you're at that number, you're going to have a great cost per estimate. And if you have a great cost per estimate, as long as you can sell, you're going to have a great customer acquisition cost. So I would go back, look at sort of your targeting strategies. Who are you targeting? Is it those specific parameters that I gave you? And I'd absolutely be more than happy to dive into that with you, Tino, during your individual business checkup. So thank you for that question. All right. Let's see. Next question here is from Supreme Painters. Thank you for your Angie leads being even worse. I couldn't agree with you more. I hate Angie, and we don't have to dive in any more than that. But Supreme Painters is asking, how much would it cost to be on board with you? That's a great question, because obviously I am doing this as a free webinar. And I do these webinars because I like to give back, and I like to open up sort of our vault without making you pay to get in. Now, our cost to be on board is actually one of the most attractive things about me and about our business, because there is no monthly cost to have you be our client. And what we do is we set up a structure, and say partnership structure, where we collect money based off of what we are able to help you generate. It's a royalty structure. So, we help you grow your business. It is only upside for you. And we come in and we generate that upside, and we do that every single day. And my clients absolutely love this, because they've talked to so many companies that promise the world. And I've talked to so many of them too, and there are a lot of bad guys in this industry that promise the world and deliver peanuts. What we do is we know we're going to get you to that next level, right? We know we're going to take you there. But what we're not going to do is make you pay us several $1,000s a month for you to wait on results. No, we're going to deliver you the results, and then we're going to get paid, because that's the way it should be. And that's exactly why I created this business, is because I know what we are capable of in helping all of you amazing painting contractors grow your business, take you to the next level. And I'm not going to charge you anything unless I make you more money than what you are making right now. And it's one of the greatest things that my clients love about us. And I want to make sure that we make this available to as many people as possible, because I know that I can help you and your businesses grow. And I'm going to make sure that we do everything in our power to get you all to that next level and get you past whatever plateau you're at right now. Okay, let me see here. Please go ahead if you have any final questions. Please put that in the chat. I will see if I can answer any of them. In the meantime, I'm going to throw this interaction up one more time on the screen. Please sign up for your individual painting business checkups. Again, they are a fantastic opportunity for us to sit down one-on-one. And if you enjoyed this webinar, also check out our website, precisionpaintingadvisors.com. We have a bunch of great content on there. We're coming out with some courses. We've got some ebooks. We've got some calculators, a bunch of great things that we are doing. And this is just the beginning. Our next webinar is scheduled, free webinar, Friday, July 12th. I believe we're doing a morning session. I think like 10 a.m. Eastern, if I have to check. But I'll make sure that all of you get emails that have attended this with the replay. I'll send out the registration for the webinar 2 weeks from this coming Friday. And be super thrilled to have as many of you in there as well. I'll make sure to spend more time in that webinar, like the HR and sort of the other 6 pillars. But it all starts somewhere. And today we started with sales and marketing, because it's important that we prepare now, so that when the winter comes, that we're not completely thrown off guard and not prepared at all. And we need to build that strong foundation. And this is definitely the first step. Okay, I'm seeing another thing come here through the chat. I'm going to answer that here real quick, and then we'll get into the keyword. Supreme Painters. Right now, I'm spending $23.50 on Angie's ads. I get some jobs. It's not as good as used to be before Home Advisor bought Angie. And yeah, the whole merger there really screwed a lot of things up. And the reason why I hate that for you, Supreme Painters, is that you're spending $23.50 a month, okay? $23.50 a month. Let's put that over the course of a year. You're spending nearly $30,000. And you know what that $30,000 is doing? It's growing Angie's business. It's not growing yours, because Angie takes that $30,000 and they spend it on the ads that bring people to Angie. Why not spend that $30,000 advertising yourself, advertising your business, growing your business? And look at that, $28,200. Let's say on the high end, let's say your customer acquisition cost was $100, which is way higher than any of my clients are at. Let's say it's $100. You're going to be at 1,200 clients from that same $28,000 that you're spending. Let's say, I don't know, $7,500 is your average job. You're a multi-million-dollar business right there. Now, obviously, so much more goes into it when you're looking at everything else, right? Because you need the HR, you need the operations, but strictly advertising speaking, that's exactly what you need to do. Okay, Tino. Is it better to pay the mailman or a young student for the door hangers? Have you tried both? I guess if you're referring to the mailman, I think you're referring to that every door direct mail. And the reason why, again, I like the young student to hang up the door hangers, and I have done both, is that young student is typically not going to cost as much depending on the area. Like in Pennsylvania, minimum wage is $7.25. I say $15 an hour will pay you cash at the end of the day. That's going to be great. In different areas, it's going to cost different prices, but they can get up door hangers quick. You have them do the map my run. And it really is effective to have that door hanger on the doorknob versus the flyer in the mail. And I'm not saying every door direct mail doesn't work, because it does, but it requires such a big volume that it can make it difficult to really see a lot of success out of it. Whereas the door hangers, you have a lot more control, at least I think, than you do with the every door direct mail. But again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do both. But if you're going to pick one or the other, if you're going to do one to start, definitely start with the door hangers and do at least every season. Okay. Let's see. No problem there, Tino. Let's see. Again, Supreme Painters makes sense. The problem, like you said, every day I get many calls and emails saying they'll put you on the front page of Google. Don't do that. It's funny because even right, I'm not in the painting business anymore, sold mine, but I get calls like that all day too. And don't fall for it, because what those companies do is they make you pay money up front. They make you put up all this money and they promise results. And then when they don't come, they say, oh, give it another month, give it another 2 months, right? Don't trust them. Please be careful, because I used to get all the calls. I'm sure you're getting a bunch of calls there as well. Make sure that you are being careful with your dollar. Your dollar is the most important thing you should be guarding. Guard it like crazy, and you will be successful. So we're running out of time here. I want to give the keyword for this Sherwin giveaway. So please go ahead and get ready in the private chat for that. Code word is going to be the letters SW and the numbers 24. That's SW24. And I'm seeing a bunch of these come in. Fantastic. And what I'm also going to do for all of you, because I've had this happen way too many times, is here is my personal cell phone number. I am going to go through this and here, give away the gift card. And I'm going to be calling the winner. If you do not pick up the phone from this phone number, I will call you again. And if you do not pick up the second time, I will be moving on to the next person on my list. So please pick up the phone. We'll make sure to get you that here in just a moment. I'll give it a few more seconds here. The code word again is SW24. Please go ahead and put that in the chat so you will be entered into the giveaway. And for those watching the replay, I'm so sorry, but we only do the giveaways during our live sessions. Our next live session is, and let me just double confirm this, Our next session is July 12th at 10 a.m. Eastern. We've already got a good amount of people signed up for that. So if you want to have a chance to win again, please go ahead and get yourself signed up for that. There should be a link on our website to do so. I'm seeing a bunch more of these come in. I will be calling the winner right after we get off here. I'll put this in my little random thing. I'm seeing another question from Renee. How can we sign up for the one-on-one? Thank you, Renee. I'm going to be putting that link up here on the screen again for the business checkup. If you're having issues with that, if you don't see it or anything, I'm going to mark you down here, and I can, as soon as we get off here, I'll give away the gift card and everything. And I'll give you a call, and I can get you signed up for that one-on-one. Okay, cool. You see it? Go ahead and click the link. It'll take you to the calendar. The calendar will take you to a little form, get all that filled out, and that will be great. I'm seeing Supreme Painters. I'm ready to be on board. Don't even need the one-on-one. I'll have to look and see Supreme Painters when you signed up for your one-on-one. My schedule, as you can imagine, is quite busy. I think Supreme Painters, that might be you on the 1st of July. And we can definitely have that sort of be the kickoff call there as well. But I'm seeing yes there. So I'll make sure to reach out to you here beforehand. We can get all that set up. Okay, I'm seeing some more codes come in. I'm seeing yes, cool. All right. Well, I do have a hard cut here at 1:30, so I'm going to cue the little thank you here on behalf of Precision Painting Advisors. Thank you so much for joining here this afternoon for me, if it's morning for a few of you out there, or if you're watching the replay. I really appreciate you spending some time with me here today. If for whatever reason timing got mixed up, I'm going to make sure the replay gets sent out here pretty much right away after the session ends. So please be sure, go ahead and watch the replay if you missed anything. And I really look forward to all of your one-on-ones. It's going to be a great time. And again, SW24, I'll give it one more second here before I close out. And again, my phone number right here. Please be sure to pick up if you see that come in. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. And we will see you all either in your one-on-ones or on July 12th.